illegal programs are incredibly expensive to run. And they're all different. And the way the Russians run them, and I'd say probably the Chinese as well, is they run very, very long games, significantly longer games than the US or Britain or others tend to be willing to run. The idea of, what the Russians did even as recently as the 2010s, sending people into Canada, acquiring birth certificates of children that had died at birth or shortly after birth, creating identities, getting Canadian passports, et cetera, and then ultimately using those to immigrate to the US. That's a very expensive program, takes a long time, years. And then those people who got rolled up by the FBI, in that famous case, they never really got close enough to anybody to collect anything. But if we think that they're not still trying that, if we think they didn't have other assets in place that we just haven't figured out yet, we're probably wrong. One of the interesting things to me about that case of those 10 or 11 folks that were rolled up in the what was her name, Marina? She was the redhead that everybody looked at. She was arrested.
Yeah, I forget the name. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Of cases.
Yeah.
Program was a pre-fall of the wall program that had been set up and funded and executed. So it had been set up by the KGB under Communist Soviet Union, and all of the mechanisms stayed in place all the way through the fall of the wall, into post 9/11, into through the into Putin's reign, without being interrupted. Funding still flowed, right? So the programs kept going. So if you think about that, why would we think any other KGB programs that they thought were high priority programs wouldn't also keep going?
Yeah, and I imagine it's one of those things where you have to have that long-term patience for those programs to bear fruit. And, for us in a country where fiscal decisions are made, fiscal philosophies are changed every 2 to 4 years.
Right.